Hey everybody, let me know if you can see and hear me. Okay, so people can see. Awesome. And yeah, so we're gonna get started in a couple minutes. And yeah, I'm only asking if it's good because OBS is and everything's telling me it's bad. So I never know because there's a huge delay before I, see anything. But so anyways, what we're doing today is playing around with some new plugins from XLN Audio. They sent me what is it called? Addictive Drums 2 and a bunch of expansions for that. And also the RC20 plugin. So I've got those installed and they seem to work. And I probably haven't spent much more than half an hour with them yet. So I figured as I explore those and figure out how to do a review of them or do tutorials of them, we'll kind of explore it together. Jazz Rock, hi, from Germany. Cool. Greetings from Russia. Hey, thanks for joining me. All right, so I'll load up Addictive Drums to get it started. Not Easy Drummer, Addictive Drums. Where is it? All right, so we're doing the stereo version of this instead of multi-channel. And how many of you guys know about Addictive Drums 2? Have used it, own it, or other versions? Chris Calder, hey, thanks. How to mod a CAD E100 so it doesn't require batteries. You shouldn't need to. I think the battery is just so that you don't need phantom power. You can remove the batteries, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, Addictive Drums, I think this is what it comes with. And it comes with this weird gallery view. It's weird if you're used to the other, the original Addictive Drums. It didn't have this. And this is just a way of previewing all the presets and different beats in a kind of pretty intuitive way. So I did watch a couple of videos, just their quick start guide. So I don't know, 15 minutes worth of videos, something like that. So there's the play buttons, and that chooses a beat, and then the preset titles will change the preset. All right, so I'll just start here with this one. I think you guys should be able to hear that. Right? First of all, let me know if you can hear that. So as I said before, there's the presets here, different beats, and then there's the different presets. And probably see these controls at the bottom. These will adjust the preset with like macro controls. We can turn down the overheads, down the rim, turn up the rim. So this is the natural and clean portion of the presets. Then there's produced, and then there's extreme, which are more electronic sounds, drum and bass sort of things. All right, so if we like this beat to get started with, we can try it with a different preset. So we're playing the same beat, but with different kits. If we switch to kit view, we can see what things change. So there's a ton of stuff you can do with this. I think so far it's pretty cool. What part do you want to see next? I'll let you guys decide what direction we go with this. Okay, I gotta smile at that sound. That's amazing. I'm just going to go through some of the controls kind of at random, just seeing how they respond and what cool sounds we can get from it. Is there a special drum editor in Reaper to edit the AD MIDI files? Not a special editor, but you can drag and drop. I think it's dragging, drag the title onto the track. Double click to open it up. So that's pretty simple. But that's the same as every other drum plugin, I think. But actually, there's a really cool thing in Addictive Drums. If you just want to use this kind of as a sampler, you can drag this wave button here. Drag and drop this. It's always recording in the background. So it just created a wave file, the last thing that we played. So you just trim that, make it loop section. Want this one. Go and loop it. Drum map. Okay, yeah. Well, I talked about drum maps in a recent video. So I'll just grab whatever this is. Let's grab this, drop that in. So I've got this set up as a diamond view. If we want named notes, you go to File, Note Names, load note names from File. And I don't have a Addictive Drums map created yet, but if you have one, I'm sure there's probably one in the forum that you can download, and that will put in the note names there. So it doesn't get it automatically like some other plugins do, like F Expansion Geist automatically tells Reaper what is on the each pad. This is a little different. Let's see if we can find what the actual layout is. Addictive Drums to key map. So there's a PDF. So you could take all of these, take the number and the name, and a bit of a pain to actually create one, but you just convert this to a text file and you can import that. So I did that with the Kurt Ballou drums for contact. I recently did that. Okay, so what are we looking at? Do we want to hear more examples of the different kits? This is Fairfax Volume 2. That's pretty cool. Let's go to the effects and look at the effects that are on. Let's do the send effects first, I guess. So there's a delay / reverb. Actually, two of them. There's this slider that on the right it makes it a reverb, and on the left it makes it a delay. There's just the delay soloed. There's a filter here. I've always loved the controls on Addictive Drums. I had the Addictive Drums 1 quite a while ago. And I always loved that there's these sliders. You can drag them up and down. You can kind of compress the range and drag them left and right to expand them out again. And the sends are the sends are like that too. And the panning on the overheads, you can change the pan and the width at the same time. I wish we had that in Reaper. If we want to reset anything, it's an Alt-click. Reaper looks sharp on my Retina MacBook Pro. Reaper looks not so sharp. What? My Reaper looks sharp on my Reaper MacBook Pro. My Retina MacBook Pro looks not so sharp. Yeah, the Retina MacBook Pro. Reaper might need the high DPI theme. Right now, everything's looking kind of blurry on my own screen because it's a 27-inch 1440p monitor, but I'm running it at 1080, so everything looks kind of blurry for me, but it probably looks sharp to you, so the trade-off. All right, so I'm gonna unsolo that. Can't decide whether I want to mix the drums in Addictive Drums or as separate tracks in Reaper. Narnis, I'll show you both ways. I tend to want to mix and match samples from different libraries, use all my favorite plugins. I mean, you can do everything in Addictive Drums. It has a ton of options. I do like that there's the kit piece controls. The volume envelope basically is like gating. A little easier. You don't have to worry about bleed or anything like that. Got compression. It's got noise generator. Kind of interesting. Probably won't use that much myself. EQ. I must say everything responds to the mouse really intuitively. Like, I expect to scroll up and it tightens the cue. There's some plugins that are like reversed. It's really weird. Oh, there's a like a transient designer here. And we can switch this out for something else. Comp and distortion or tape and shape. Unlike Reaper itself. Sorry, what does that mean? The controls are intuitive? Zooming and scrolling? Yeah. It's definitely backwards. Hey, thanks, David Farmer. Should hang out with us on Slack a little bit more. Always happy to have you there. Share your secrets with us. So this is something I saw in one of those tutorial videos that XLN did. You can transform the beats right inside of the plugin. So it's like having a MIDI editor built in. It's awesome. So let's see. I haven't actually played with this yet. So this is my first time trying it. So, you know, that's kind of why we're doing this live stream. So I can kind of show and talk to you guys about this stuff and prepare myself to do a more in-depth tutorial, maybe focusing on each of these things. But if there's anything you guys want to see with Addictive Drums, just put it there in the comments. I'm watching those. So yeah, just let me know. All right, so I'm trying to remember how this works. Let's start with velocity. We can make this more dynamic or limit it to a small range of low velocities. Drag this up. Consistently middle velocity, just hard hits. And you gotta love how it's playing different samples and it's doing, like, it actually sounds like a hard hit in a room and it just responds so much differently. It's not just getting louder. All right, so we can randomize the timing a little bit. Too sloppy. Now, if you're working with program beats, you probably want this maybe like 10, 12%. Add these sliders to a real drummer? Yeah, that would be nice. But I think we invest a lot more money into these things rather than patience in real drummers. I've been doing drum editing all week, so yeah, this is great stuff. We can add more accents or change the way that the accents are programmed. Harder eighth notes, softer eighth notes. Totally changes the feel. That's pretty cool. 16th notes. You gotta love what that does. That's amazing. All right, so and take out the hi-hat completely. Reassign. What can we do? I don't know. I don't remember what this does. So I don't know if there's something special about these grooves that makes it work like that, but let's try dragging one in here. See if we can find a way to drag this in. Maybe we can't. No, maybe, yeah, maybe we can't. Okay, well, I guess we can't. It is possible with Easy Drummer to do that, to drag from Reaper into there, and then you can add in tom fills and stuff like that. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. And there's something else here I wanted to show you. Change the speed. It's pretty basic stuff that you see in a lot of things. Change the length. So, of course, once we like this thing, we can drag it in. And we've made this a 16 bar loop as well, just by changing these settings. Pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, another thing is that with these buttons here, sync, play, stop, and sync tempo, that will follow the project. So if I had guitars and stuff going on here, we could just loop that and audition different samples, and every time we start and stop, it automatically does that. Does the velocity tweak only apply to the drum loops in AD? I don't see any way of importing other beats. Like I was trying to drag in samples from, or MIDI from Reaper into here. I couldn't figure out how to do that. So if it doesn't work first 3 tries, I usually give up on it. There is external MIDI. So let's see. Open external MIDI folder. Place MIDI files here. Right. Where did it go? MIDI files here. Fresh MIDI library. And there's the sound. Okay. So yeah, it is possible. So it's a couple more steps than what I thought. Can you sidechain compression without opening all the drums in different channels. Chris, hello. Sidechain compress. I don't think you can sidechain compress inside the mixer. You can parallel compress, but I don't think you can sidechain compress. So yeah, you would need to route this out to separate tracks. And it looks like that's a pretty straightforward process. So I'm going to close this and insert virtual instrument on a new track, go to Addictive Drums, and it'll ask me what I want to do. If I click yes, it'll make up 18 extra tracks. So master is everything by default, which is all the drums direct plus all the effects. And then there's individual tracks from kick to the bus tracks. So that's corresponding to the effects page here. Daniel, hello. Okay, so yeah, so if I was mixing this properly, I'd put this into a folder, all the drums, select them all, make the top track a folder, and so you guys see these buttons down here at the bottom? Oops. Apparently control scroll wheel makes those change, which is nice. Okay, so there's this button here at the bottom. We can click that. Separate outs, pre-fader, separate out, pre-fader plus master, separate outs, post-fader, separate outs, post-fader plus master. So I would probably do separate outs, post-fader. Then your settings will be influenced by the preset that you start with. But I don't know. All the options are there for a reason. So this will be most like what you hear. And so yeah, so now if I play a beat, all right, so we can see all the tracks coming in. Overheads are coming in at +8, so that's a bit loud. You can turn it down inside of Addictive Drums, or we can turn down the send from the Addictive Drums track to the individual tracks. Alt plus control click the down arrow applies to most of the tracks. Yeah, I was gonna do that, but I just mouse wheeled over it and they all changed. So yeah, mouse wheel will toggle the different modes there. Okay. There is a gain staging issue though, of everything being way too loud. And that's kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. So if we solo the master track here, it's just the reverbs. Because nothing's going through the master, we're not going to hear any of this compression, distortion stuff. But all the effects on the individual tracks will end up in Reaper. Plugin's a bit big on a 1080p screen. Yeah, no, can't resize it. So any other questions about Addictive Drums? Anything else you want to see? I have no plans for this, so I'll just let you guys direct whatever you want to see. I'll do it. Oh God, my coffee was so cold. Well, that's weird. The audio recorder button is missing now. What does that mean? Oh, because nothing's going through the master. I see. And click. Okay. No, yeah. I got really confused there. Disappears when you hit play. Yeah, Addictive Drums is sample-based. But the controls are more like synth-based, with pitch envelopes, volume envelopes. Yeah, you can control the levels of the mics and the overheads in the room, and I don't know, you can change the velocity. You can have different pitch in the overheads versus room. Lots of stuff. I love this audio recorder thing built in. That's really cool. So I'm gonna put that recording there, its own track, and all right, let's move on to the other plugin that they sent me. We'll just work on this clip here. All right, so the other plugin they sent me was, what's it called? RC20. I always forget the number. So RC20 Retro Color. Has a noise generator, a wobble generator, distortion, bit crushing, sample rate reduction, kind of a reverb, and then like a tape saturation thing, like a tape effect processor. Like it's just like a distortion unit, basically. David, yeah, thanks. Thanks for joining us. I will do videos probably focusing on all of these things in depth. I just kind of wanted to, play around, and if I'm playing around, I may as well kind of teach you guys and answer questions as we're going along. All right, so this is RC20 Retro Color. I make this so everything's off right now. Let's go one at a time. I think probably the distortion one's easiest to. Once again, this has got those great sliding controls for the filters. Let's move on to noise, different noise modes. This one's interesting. It has this follow option. So it's sort of only puts in the noise when there is sound coming in instead of in between. Or duck mode will put it in between the loud hits. That'd be pretty cool on a vocal for a special effect. All right, wobble. Really cool graphics on this. Try some presets. There's a lot of different presets it comes with. For these sort of multi-effects, I think presets are a good way to start off. This is 808 Crush. Yeah, this thing's pretty cool. It's definitely like a lo-fi processor, but in a different sort of way from Futzbox and some of the other ones. Speakerphone. So let's say we like this sound, but it's a bit too much. We can use this magnitude slider at the top. And now it's like completely off. Now it's a blend. And increase the width. Filter the overall sound. Where do you use such saturation plugins? Yeah, like these extreme ones, really for just like breakbeat loops, stuff like that. Take a bass sound and run it through this. I don't know. I think it's something that you would use to get like a really characterful sound at the start of a song. Yeah, but like for regular rock stuff, you probably wouldn't use it. Just like my coworker. Okay. Some of these really like warped sounding ones are pretty cool. Yeah, like, okay, so you guys make a good point. So if it sounds like really like noisy and lo-fi and stuff like that, and you're using these plugins, they're good for like intros, bridges, let's just say like you have it on this lo-fi setting and then you go into a non-lo-fi setting. Like you have a lo-fi intro that kind of builds in. Something like that. You could also do it it'd be useful in the in like a doom bass sort of thing. Where is it? What am I looking for? Yeah, we already played with Addictive Drums too, but if there's anything you want to see, I can go back to it. It's no problem. I'm kind of distracted and moving on to something else, almost. I had an idea, so I'm just going to follow this idea for a minute. I'm looking for tone generator. So, let's try out that plugin in my Doom bass template. Let's turn off all the effects first. How do I feel about Addictive Drums versus this thing? Yeah, any others? I think it has a lot of really unique ideas. There's a huge emphasis on starting with presets with it, and I think they do that in a good way. But I'm probably not going to start with a preset most of the time. I'll probably make my own preset and use my own processing as multi-channel, the same way that I work with Easy Drummer. It's got great things for adjusting the MIDI patterns. And again, if you're working with a real drummer on an electronic kit or programming from scratch, you might not use that, but it is really good. And there will be a replay of this stream, so you know, tomorrow you can watch the stream back and catch all that stuff. Really cool stuff. Yeah, but there's a huge emphasis on auditioning the beats with different presets, and they do that in a really unique way, but I don't think for my own purposes it's going to be useful. If you're someone that uses presets and, you know, that's a good starting point for songs, then it's a great option. Yeah, I think the acoustic drums do sound really good too, especially for like the lighter rock, jazzy sort of things. The cymbals sound great. I wasn't a big fan of the original Easy Drummer. I kept hearing the default kit on TV shows. I don't understand why people wouldn't like actually mix the song themselves, but they just start with the preset at the beginning, or like the startup preset with Addictive Drums, and it's just such an obvious. It's obviously Addictive Drums. Nothing else sounded like that. I think the new one, the new expansions for Easy Drummer 2, sorry, Addictive Drums 2 are much better sounding, and you can do a lot with it. All right, so what was I doing? RC20. Let's try this out on just a sine wave bass thing. Okay, the noise in this, when it bumps up at the end, that's great. Maybe I'll just make that its own track. Come on. Either my mouse or something else is messing up. Maybe it's the CPU load from trying to stream. But some weird stuff is happening today with my mouse. All right, so this one, what do I want to do? Copy routing. Back. All right, so this is my Doom bass template, by the way. You just put in like a sine wave tone, really low tone. And then I've got different faders for different distortion chains. So decapitator, JS distortion on that one, wave shaper, phaser, lo-fi. I've got Echo Boy, Single Malt SE. So it's from Sweetwater promotion or something like that. Out of Forever. Another wave shaping distortion. Got the RC20. That's going to need some more distortion, I think. All right, and the last track, one of my favorites, Lo-Fi, EQ, Bass Professor, and Microshift. So you just like play on the faders. And it's all being crushed by 1176 at the end. I hope this is still interesting to you guys. It definitely does some weird things when you overdrive it a lot. How long's it been? It's been about an hour. So yeah, so that's RC20 with some 35 hertz sub bass going into it. Does some pretty weird stuff. Can go back to Addictive Drums. The attack sounds like edits without crossfades. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't know what to do, basically. The attack didn't have a crossfade. So, yeah, makes sense. So Mike, what I was talking about with the preset focus thing, these are different beats, the play buttons, and then these are different presets. So it's a great way of browsing the presets and kind of dialing in the sound to get started without going into the kit page or the edit page right away. The gallery thing is kind of interesting. It gives you information about what kits you have, and there's different views for it, and you can preview the expansions, I guess, without buying it. Yeah. And you can kind of turn down stuff. Thought that was MIDI. What was MIDI? No, it was a 35 hertz sine wave from a tone generator. I just rendered it as audio. So anyways, I have the... What do I have? I don't know. I'm so new to this, I don't even remember which expansions I own. I think I installed 4 out of 6 that were available. They sent me the like a deluxe pack or XL or something like that. It was like choice of 6 different kits, and then individual kit pieces and MIDI packs, and I only installed a few things. Black Velvet one is one of them. That's a really sloppy beat. I would edit that so much. $228.6mm nails. Someone do the math on that. So, as we were saying earlier, I think like for jazzy sounds and like maybe indie rock sounds, the drums sound really good. But also, this is pretty much the only one that can do electronic sounds built in, just with those pitch controls and all the effects. I don't think you can get electronic sounds like that through Steven Slate drums. Probably not with Addictive Drums either, or with, what am I looking at? Easy Drummer either. What's actually happening here? Hey, Wismos. Thanks for joining us. Anyone else really sick of that sound? The 909 drums. I just can't really, I can't handle it. Lin drums don't bother me as much as that. It's almost like these and the Simmons drums are like, it's like a charming cheesiness. Need more reverb on that snare. Where's it? Send. It's a shame you can't do gated reverb with this. Mike, if you're still watching, check this part out here with the pattern transform thing. You can make it more dynamic by increasing the velocity range, or compress it to a smaller range. Now it's only playing very low velocity hits. Scale that range up so it's only high hits. That's pretty amazing. That's not something that's really easy to do. All right. You can even change what samples are being played for each hit to make it more open, more closed. How do I become affiliated with Reaper? I'm what they call me, the unofficial blog, right? I think I just asked. Yeah. I just emailed them, asked if I could get a link on there. I've tried suggesting other sites, like Repack, but they haven't. I don't know. All change settings get lost after closing Addictive Drums. In the transform settings? Seth, I just emailed them. I don't know who I was talking to. I don't even know if they replied. I just asked. It was a couple years ago. They don't always answer emails. But, you know, stuff gets done. There's only 2 of them, so. So, I'm not sure if I can add in a drum. Right? I don't think I can add in the flexi. Do this now. Do I own the latest ad pack heavy? No, I don't. Or do I? I have Fairfax Volume 1 and 2, Black Velvet, and Real Machines. There's United Heavy. Is that the one you mean? I can get it, but it's going to take a while to download. So. What's it about? Yeah, this one? I've never really been a fan of Addictive Drums for heavy sounds. I'm not really liking these, to be honest. I like that. It's a nice drum rim. I don't like the original kit piece sounds. For heavy stuff, I usually go with the Stephen Slate. For ambient sort of things, I like the Easy Drummer post rock kits. I really like that, and I've done a video on that. I keep coming back to this sample. I don't know. I hate the kit. The kick on that is not for me, for sure. Okay. What else is there? There's a lot of stuff. Retroplex was another one I was kind of interested in. I think is the Led Zeppelin kit. Yeah, that's definitely a Led Zeppelin kind of sound. But this is not a bad metal sound. Summer 17 for a 50% discount. I don't know, maybe. I mentioned this at the beginning that This stuff was sent to me for review. Yeah, Superior Drummer 3. I haven't even looked at that yet. I don't know. I mean, all these packs are just pretty amazing these days. I don't think you can really go wrong with any of them, but I think most people have a few of them. So I have Addictive Drums 2 and Stephen Slate drums. I've got Contact and the Room Sound Kurt Ballou drums and Easy Drummer. Did I mention that? So yeah, I don't have Superior Drummer. I don't have BFD. Is there anything else? I think that's all of them. Some other smaller libraries out there. Let me know if there's anything you guys want to see. I'm just kind of checking these out because I haven't heard them yet. The low end on these is so weird, like almost grainy. I don't like that one. All right, hold on. Superior Drummer 3 is 239 gigabytes. What? Oh, it includes all MIDI packs? 6 kits? Okay, well, you need to buy a new hard drive. Yeah, I'm not... I don't like the toms here. The thing is, some of these sounds might work really well in a mix, but we're hearing them without drums or without guitars and bass and vocals. It's not really gonna... I don't know if it's gonna work. That sounds awful. Those aren't bad, but probably not my favorite metal sounds. I don't know, metal is such a weird genre. Like, the drums don't sound like drums. I don't know. I'm not at all interested in surround sound. Just me? Does it also have a VR interface? VR compatible? Why do you need surround sound? Just so you can like air drum in 3 dimensions? Sure, I wouldn't complain if they sent it to me for review. Hi, Thomas. Sound effects for film scoring? Oh, okay. Dude, you're an hour late. Come on. Oh, an hour and a half late. You have every DAW. Do you also have every drum sampler? Let me know. I knew it. I knew you would. What's your favorite of them? Have you played with Addictive Drums too very much? I've had this for like a week, but I just haven't had time. So you don't have a favorite, you just buy them all. Yeah, BFD is not one I've ever played with. Oh yes, I guess Battery is another one I don't have. I have Addictive Drums 2, Easy Drummer 2, Contact, and Geist 2, and Steven Slate Drums 4. All right, so something I didn't look at all yet is the beats section and the actual library. You can sort by library and category. Let's see. I guess dance is electronic. Groove Agent, isn't that only for Cubase? Tips for starting a music-related YouTube channel. Be consistent. So I upload on Mondays and Fridays, usually around 9 a.m. So if you start a series, make sure you finish it and it's the same day every week. I totally forgot about this. All right, so with this thing, you can search by where the notes are on the grid. So you want your eighth note hi-hats to be considered in the search. All of these will have eighth note hi-hats. Thanks for hanging out, Seth. See you around. Why do all my tracks lose volume when I transfer my tracks to my computer? Where are the tracks coming from? I need more explanation. And by track, do you mean audio file or something like that? You record it separately, and then you bring it into Reaper? Wave files from Boss RC30 loop station. Yeah, I've never used that. No idea. You have to ask Roland support for that. Yeah, that's a good idea, Jazz Rock. Yeah, hardware stuff is always can be confusing. Thomas, in Reaper, there is this volume control on your main track. So if this is turned, like if this is turned up to +3 and you export your mix, it's not going to have this 3 dB boost. So that could be one of the reasons why it sounds one way in Reaper, and when you export it, it sounds different. The other way that it can change is in your monitoring effects window. So this is an effects chain that happens after the master, and anything that you render is not going through these effects. So it's possible you have something boosting the level, or you have some compression here or something like that. So you're not actually hearing what's actually there. All right, so it's been an hour and a half. I think that's probably long enough. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the live stream. It's been a lot of fun. And if you enjoy these videos, let me know. I will keep doing live streams. I don't know about once a week, but maybe at some point we'll get to that point. And yeah, thanks for joining me once again. All right, I'm stopping. See you guys. Bye.